Awesome. So thanks again, Morgan, for jumping on and chatting with us. So if you want to start, just give kind of a 15-second intro of who you are and what you do.
Yep. My name is Morgan Stewart. I am a softball coach and I guess just a kind of a life coach to these softball girls navigating growing up in sports. I give in-person lessons in Anaheim, California, and I also have kind of these online courses that I've been trying to get off the ground.
Awesome. Very cool. So I'd love for you to tell me a little bit about what your business, what your life looked like before we started working together.
Before we started working together, I definitely had a void in video editing, in kind of having the motivation to do everything by myself. I actually run two different businesses. One is my kind of softball teaching and instruction, and another one is the mental game of sports. And so I'm kind of running two of these brands, and I'd gotten to a point where it was just too much for me to do. And I've just been a one-woman team for a long time. And I was really looking for kind of this all-in-one resource of somebody that could take the videos that I have like so much footage, and put them into packageable, postable somethings that I can use on my social media and to market myself.
Yeah, awesome. And I know when we first started working together, you had a ton of footage and awesome Zoom interviews and awesome content. So what were you struggling with that before? You weren't able to really kind of chop it down into bite-sized usable pieces. And I know we had a couple conversations as well about your overall business strategy and branding and messaging and things like that. So what were some of the struggles around that before we started working together?
Yeah, I know that behind my paywall, I've got so much great content. And the struggle that I was having was bridging the gap between, okay, this is what it is versus what people actually are getting. And it was hard for me to kind of give them a preview of what was inside and behind the paywall before I could have someone clip down these interviews and actually show the highlights of some of these interviews. And I've have hours and hours of this stuff. And that's pretty much what you're paying for, is this one-on-one conversation with somebody that's been in your shoes. So that truly helped me a lot, is someone being able to go in there and do things that I'm not great at, which is video editing. And editing takes so much time. So I have no idea how I would ever have done it.
I know that is super overwhelming, especially when you have so much great footage that you want to make use of. So awesome. So when we first started working together right away, what were some of the things that just clicked for you, or what were some of the first things that we were able to help you out with and the results you saw from that?
I think the very first thing was after our conversation of just kind of going through my game plan again, my goals, what I actually envisioned for my business. I was in such a rut because I've been doing it myself every day and just kind of stuck in the daily grind that I had lost vision and even the motivation to work on my business. And I was just working in the business and not on it. So I guess that was the big eye-opening piece for me that led me to, I think, use at least the first 3 months of our agreement here to the best that I could. So that's the biggest thing, I think, is that first initial call. You get so much bang for your buck because it kind of zaps you back into the here and now, what needs to be done.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome. And going, fast forward to now, right? So we've been working together for about 3 months now. So that was your first small win. What would you say the overall change, or like the biggest success that you've seen so far from working with us?
Biggest success is I've found a groove with the team that I've been working with, which is cool. Like, they're very fast. They're always working on multiple of my projects at once, which is cool to see because you can actually see what they're working on, how fast they are, and respond to them. And they get changes back pretty much same day. So I think biggest win is really being able to trust other people with my brand, which has been really, really tough.
Yeah.
And it's something that you can't even put a number on, is that level of trust with somebody else. So I think that's the biggest thing for me.
Love that. Yeah, that's awesome. And with the content that you've been putting out now, from what we've been able to create for you, have you seen a response or different engagement rate or anything in terms of your sales cycle, the trust you've been able to build with your audience? What's that been like?
Yeah, I'm not a numbers person, so it's tough for me to actually know if my social media likes and all that stuff have gone up. But what I do know is on my YouTube channel, the ones that actually have uh, that optimized look of the text in front and all the edited without all my ums and all the different extra words that I put in there, those are getting a lot of views. I actually checked on those today. So those are looking good. My YouTube is great. And especially with my audience and the type of people that are looking for softball instruction, YouTube is huge.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. And on that note too, let's say we're shooting like a late night infomercial right now. What would be the biggest before and after claim that we could make?
Let's see. If you are looking for a way to maximize the time that you're actually working on your own business, if you're looking to see the big picture instead of the nitty-gritty details that take up hours and hours of your time, you need to hire people that know what they're doing, that have a team that's put together of exactly what you're looking for, even if you don't know that you're looking for them. So that's my best choice there.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, absolutely. And so I think you found me through Instagram initially, right? Was that right?
Amanda Scarborough told me
No,
about
that's
you.
right. Yeah.
And then I looked up your Instagram, like, yep, I need to do this.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know it was a pretty quick, at least from the time that we spoke, it was a pretty quick decision for you. But what was it that ultimately made you want to pull the trigger and work with us?
It was one of your it was a long video, but there was so much information in it. And I just felt like I could learn a ton from you. And it was on how to optimize your YouTube channel. So I knew there was a lot of stuff that I wasn't doing that I just needed to get done and take it out of my hands.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's awesome. And last question for you, Morgan, what would you say? Because I'm sure there's somebody watching this now that's considering working with us, or they're on the fence, or they're not quite sure. What would you say to them? What would your advice be?
My advice would be, you always get out what you put in. So if you're trying to, I totally understand being financially smart with your business, and a lot of times it's hard to make those choices that are going to exponentially help your business. But this is a product that's absolutely worth the money that you pay. There's so much value because you get so much content back. And it's your content. It's not like it's going away, and you can post it immediately. You can do whatever you want with it. So just coming from someone that has used videographers, video editors in the past, and kind of had to piece together a team. And I'm no longer working with a lot of those people because it was so expensive to keep them on board. This is something that's super, super cost effective and very valuable. So pull the trigger.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And if people want more information about you and what you do, where should they go to find you?
They should go to morgan-stewart.com and they can find everything that I do.
Awesome. That's awesome, Morgan. Well, I'm looking forward to continuing to work with you and seeing your growth, and I appreciate your time here today. And yeah, thanks again.
You got it.